Hello and welcome everyone on this official platform of Legacy IS Academy. So today in this session, we are going to discuss the story of Baluchistan and also the current scenario which is going on in Baluchistan. What if I told you that there is a hidden war raging in the shadows, a war over land, resources and broken promises, one that the world barely noticed. Now, welcome to Baluchistan, Pakistan's largest, yes, most forgotten province, a land rich in gold, copper, gas, and also soaked in the blood of rebellion and betrayal. So, from the dramatic fighting as well as hijacking of the Jafar Express recently by the Baluch insurgents to the echoes of a long-standing struggle for independence. And this story is far more than just another regional conflict. But here, where it gets even more intriguing, or whispers of covert operations, secret agents, and an invisible chess game which is played between two nuclear armed neighbors, that is India and Pakistan, which have turned Baluchistan into a dangerous flashpoint. Is India really pulling these strings behind the scenes? Is this the battle for Baluch freedom just another pawn in the larger game of South Asian geopolitics? And most importantly, could this hidden conflict spiral into something far more devastating? So stay with me as we peel back the layers of Muhammad Ali Jinnah's betrayal, that is, and also the Bangladesh effect, as well as the silent war which is brewing right under the world's nose. Trust me, this is the story you won't want to miss. That is Baluchistan story. That Baluchistan, which is a province southwest in Pakistan, which is rich in minerals but sparsely populated. Many Baluch people, they want independence because they feel their resources are being taken by the Pakistani government and that they are being treated unfairly. So let's try to understand each and everything. This is the map of Baluchistan, as you can see here, southwestern Pakistan. तो आज हम इस सेशन में पूरी बलूचिस्तान की जो हिस्ट्री है वो सारी चीजें हम एक ओवरव्यू लेकर समझेंगे. नाउ लेट्स ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड विद ईच एंड एवरी पर्सपेक्टिव. सो द फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग हियर इज दैट व्हाई द बलूच पीपल वांट फ्रीडम. व्हाट इज द नीड, व्हाई दे वांट फ्रीडम. तो पहला जो रीजन यहां पर आता है, बलूचिस्तान रिसोर्सेज. नाउ Baluchistan has valuable minerals like gold, copper, especially in Reko-Dik, Sandak, Changi district. As you can see this map of Baluchistan. This is the map of Baluchistan region. So this region is rich in minerals, rich in metals, rich in resources. So in this region, gold, copper, as well as iron ore, lead, zinc, coal are present. Now, what are the allegations? So let's try to understand the allegations. Allegations ये है, बलूच पीपल का कहना है that पाकिस्तान इन रिसोर्सेज को लेता है, बट उससे वहां के लोगों का कोई भी फायदा नहीं हो रहा है. इसीलिए कौन कौन से ग्रुप्स हैं जो इसमें शामिल हैं? आर्म्ड ग्रुप्स लाइक बलूचिस्तान लिबरेशन आर्मी, आप देख सकते हैं, बलूचिस्तान लिबरेशन आर्मी एंड बलूचिस्तान लिबरेशन फ्रंट. इसीलिए ये ग्रुप डिमांड कर रहे हैं, ये मांग कर रहे हैं इंडिपेंडेंस की, कि हमें आजाद किया जाए. अब ये क्यों मांग कर रहे हैं इंडिपेंडेंस की, सवाल ये भी उठता है. तो अब कहा जाता है कि जिन्ना साहब ने बीट्रायल किया था बलूचिस्तान के लोगों के साथ, है ना. तो आइए समझते हैं कुछ बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी बलूचिस्तान की. नाउ जिन्नाज बीट्रायल कैसे? बिफोर पार्टीशन, Baluchistan had 4 princely states. Now, as you can see here, Before partition, Baluchistan had 4 princely states: Kalat, Kharan, Makran and Las Bela. As you can see these provinces here in the map, है ना? Makran, then Las Bela, Kalat and another province Kharan. These were the, before partition, Baluchistan had 4 princely states. Now, after the partition, choices are given. अब choices क्या दी गई? These princely states could either join India or join Pakistan or remain independent. इनके पास 3 choices थी. They can join India, Pakistan or remain independent. Kalat की choice क्या थी? As you can see here, Kalat. The choice of Kalat was, अब Kalat के याद रखिएगा खान थे. Khan of Kalat was Mir Ahmad Yar. As you can see his image here, Mir Ahmad Yar Khan. He has chosen independence. इन्होंने क्या चूज किया? इंडिपेंडेंस. जिन्ना का इस पर स्टैंड क्या था? At first, Muhammad Ali Jinnah accepted Kalat's decision that you remain independent. But एक ट्विस्ट आया. अब वो ट्विस्ट क्या आया? Later, under the pressure of British, Jinnah changed his mind and pushed Kalat to join Pakistan. तब प्रेशराइज किया ब्रिटिश के प्रेशर में कि आप कलात को ज्वाइन करिए, किसमें? पाकिस्तान में. So it was the forced accession. It was the forced accession, as you can see here. Now, इसीलिए जिन्ना ने अनाउंस किया that merger of Kharan, Makran, Las Bela into Pakistan on March 18, 1948. जिन्ना ने 18th March 1948 को यह अनाउंस किया that these provinces, Kharan, Makran and Las Bela, they are merging into Pakistan on 18 March 1948. Now, अब कौन सा प्रोविंस बचा? कलात. Kalat was left landlocked and isolated. Kalat was left landlocked. As you can see this map here, it is landlocked and isolated. अब एक false news spread कर दी गई that Kalat wanted to join India. एक false news उस समय spread की गई that Kalat wanted to join India, which angered the Pakistan. And then Khan of Kalat was left with no option but to join Pakistan in 1948. This was the strategy of Muhammad Ali Jinnah. That is why he was left with no option but to join Pakistan in 1948. Soon after that, Baluch people, they started rebellions over the time. Now, the first rebellion took place in 1948. इसी के बाद बलूचिस्तान के लोगों ने rebellion करना शुरू किया. So let's try to understand the rebellions. Now, as you can see here, they started rebellions. So first rebellion happened in 1948. In this, protest was started against the forced accession, and this was quickly crushed by Pakistan. Second rebellion happened from 1954 to 1959. Now this triggered by Pakistan's one unit plan. Pakistan ने announce किया था अपना एक one unit plan to merge all provinces into West Pakistan. Now in this scenario, the Khan of Kalat. Now who was the Khan of Kalat at that time? As you can see here, the Khan of Kalat, whose name was Nawab Nauroz Khan. As you can see his name here, Nawab Nauroz Khan. So Nawab Nauroz Khan declared independence. Then he was tricked into surrendering in 1959 and then he was jailed. Finally, this rebellion was also crushed. Then after that, third rebellion occurred from 1963 to 69. Now this rebellion was led by the Sher Mohammad Bijrani Mari. Sher Mohammad Bijrani Mari. He's also called as General Sharaf. Now he demanded the withdrawal of Pakistani troops and scrapping of one unit plan. This was ended in 1969. In 1969, General Yahya Khan took over. General Yahya Khan, he took over and dissolved the one unit plan. So this rebellion was also ended. Next, fourth rebellion, which happened from 19 73 to 77. अब ये क्यों हुआ? Because in 1971 East Pakistan became independent and called as Bangladesh, है ना? So the Baluchistan people got inspired from Bangladesh Liberation War. Now, fourth rebellion, 1973 to 77. This was inspired by Bangladesh independence of 1971, and Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto refused and he dismissed the Baluch government, and then Pakistan launched a military operation to crush the protest. So this was ended in 1977 when General Zia-ul Haq, as you can see his image, General Zia-ul Haq took power and he offered amnesty and pulled back the troops. अब इसके बाद अब रिबेलियन की शुरुआत होती है 2000 से. Fifth rebellion started from 2000 and it is still going on. Why this rebellion was started? This was sparked by the rape of a Baluchistan woman doctor by the military personnel, and it has grown worse with the attacks on Pakistani troops, infrastructure projects, especially which are linked to CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. And इसी सिनेरियो में इसी का पार्ट है, फिफ्थ रिबेलियन का ही पार्ट है, this recent hijack which happened recently in March 2025. Now, what happened in this recent hijack? So, on this 11th March 2025, Baluchistan Liberation Army, they have hijacked the Jafar Express, which was from Quetta to Peshawar with 400 passengers. Now, why they hijacked? Because they demanded the release of Baluch political prisoners as well as civilians who were allegedly kidnapped by the Pakistani forces. Now, how long this took place? Now, this standoff lasted for 30 hours. And what is the outcome of this? The outcome of this is 33 rebels killed, 21 passengers killed, 4 security personnel killed, and also the hostages eventually rescued. So hostages eventually rescued. Now, what is the Bangladesh effect on Baluchistan people? तो अगर हम बांग्लादेश इफेक्ट की बात करें, so let's try to understand that after Bangladesh independence in 1971, Baluch people were inspired to push for more autonomy, कि हमें भी आजादी दे दो. They wanted autonomy. So Prime Minister Bhutto, he dismissed the Baluchistan, or you can say Baluch provincial government in 1973 when they pushed for more rights. And what was the outcome? Finally, a 4-year armed struggle until 1977. Then, when General Zia-ul Haq came, he ended with amnesty. तो ओवरऑल अगर हम ये सारी चीजें देखें, so Baluch people, they are fighting for independence, and it has continued for the decades with major rebellions in 1948, 1954, 1963, 1973, and 2000, which is still going on. And despite violent crackdowns, the struggle is still alive, especially with the groups like Baluchistan Liberation Army and Baluchistan Liberation Front, who are targeting the Pakistani military as well as Chinese projects like CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Why this anger? Because Baluch people were betrayed by Jinnah. They were exploited by Pakistani government and ignored by the world. And India's alleged involvement in Baluchistan has long been a contentious issue in South Asia. Now, while Indian government officially denies any direct support for Baluch separatists, but Pakistan repeatedly accused India that India is behind stirring the unrest in Baluchistan region. So let's try to understand how India is stirring the protest or separatist trends in Baluchistan region. So the first thing is intelligence operations. इंटेलिजेंस ऑपरेशंस कैसे? इंडिया की जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसी है ना, जिसको हम एक्सटर्नल इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसी बोलते हैं, दैट इज रॉ. Now, Pakistan claims that India's external intelligence agency, that is RAW, has been providing support to the Baluch separatist groups like Baluchistan Liberation Army, Baluchistan Liberation Front. इसी के साथ ही साथ एक केस आया था, कुलभूषण जाधव केस इन 2016, where Pakistan arrested Kulbhushan Jadhav, an alleged Indian spy, and he was accused of orchestrating the terror activities in Baluchistan region. And India countered this by saying that Jadhav was a former naval officer who was kidnapped from Iran. And this incident escalated the tensions, with Pakistan using it as a proof of Indian interference. Apart from this, पाकिस्तान का यह भी कहना है कि इंडिया जो है वेपन्स और फंड देता है किसको? बलूचिस्तान इंसर्जेंट ग्रुप्स को, है ना। तो अब ये कैसे होता है? तो पाकिस्तानी अथॉरिटीज दे क्लेम दैट इंडियन सप्लाइज फंडिंग, आर्म्स, ट्रेनिंग टू इंसर्जेंट ग्रुप्स थ्रू द नेटवर्क्स इन अफगानिस्तान एंड ईरान, स्पेशली नियर चाबहार पोर्ट. However, concrete evidence has been murky. Apart from this, second important thing, diplomatic and strategic signals. Now, Prime Minister Modi's 2016 speech on Independence Day, that is considered as most significant speech. Now, how it is considered as most significant speech? Because the reason here is that why this speech is important. So let me tell you that Prime Minister Modi has said that because in his speech Baluchistan was mentioned on 15 August 2016 speech, and the first time Indian leader had publicly acknowledged the Baluchistan issue. पहली बार ऐसा हुआ था कि इंडियन लीडर ने बलूचिस्तान के इशू को पहली बार एक्नॉलेज किया. एंड ही ऑल्सो एक्सप्रेस सॉलिडारिटी विद द पीपल ऑफ बलूचिस्तान, गिलगिट एंड पीओके पीपल हु थैंक्ड हिम फॉर रेजिंग देयर कंसर्न्स. तो ये भी एक सबसे बड़ा इशू था कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी ने उस टाइम पर जो स्पीच में इन सभी चीजों का जिक्र किया था, तो इसका काफी ज्यादा इंपैक्ट पड़ा है. एंड दिस वाज सीन एज ए स्ट्रेटेजिक काउंटर टू पाकिस्तान स्टैंड ऑन कश्मीर. तो कहा जा रहा है इंडिया जो है इसके थ्रू काउंटर करना चाहता है पाकिस्तान के इन्फ्लुएंस को कश्मीर रीजन में. एंड ऑल्सो अगर पाकिस्तान कश्मीर में इंटरफेयर करेगा तो इंडिया ने सीधे बोल दिया था हम बलूचिस्तान के इशू को इंटरनेशनली क्या करेंगे, लेकर आएंगे सामने, और हम भी बलूचिस्तान के इशू को सामने रखेंगे हर जगह. तो ये इससे बलूचिस्तान के इंसर्जेंट ग्रुप्स को एक प्रोत्साहन भी मिला कि कोई ऐसा लीडर आया है जो, और कोई ऐसी कंट्री आई है जो उनके बारे में बात कर रही है. तो ये सबसे बड़ा उस टाइम पर इशू भी बन गया था. ये एक डिप्लोमेटिक आप कह सकते हैं कि उस टाइम पर चैलेंज भी था कि इंडिया ने एक ऐसा कदम उठाया था. इसी के साथ ही साथ अगर हम बात करें तो चाबहार पोर्ट और ईरान के बारे में. अब चाबहार पोर्ट और ईरान क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है? क्योंकि इंडिया ने ईरान में काफी ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट किया हुआ है इन द नेम ऑफ दिस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर लाइक चाबहार पोर्ट. क्योंकि पाकिस्तान के साथ हमारे रिलेशन और आप कह सकते हैं संबंध ना अच्छे होने के कारण की वजह से जो ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स है अफगानिस्तान के साथ वो काफी ज्यादा कमजोर होने लगा था. इसीलिए इंडिया ने चाबहार पोर्ट का यूज करना शुरू किया ताकि हमें सेंट्रल एशिया और अफगानिस्तान में कनेक्टिविटी मिल सके. अब इसका इंपैक्ट क्या पड़ेगा? एक तरफ है ईरान का चाबहार पोर्ट जहां पर भारत ने इन्वेस्ट किया हुआ है, दूसरी तरफ है ग्वादर पोर्ट जहां पर चाइना ने इन्वेस्ट किया हुआ है. एंड ग्वादर पोर्ट एक की लिंक है, याद रखिएगा, सीपेक का, which has fueled these suspicions in Pakistan that इंडिया जो है वो यूज कर रहा है चाबहार पोर्ट को एक तरीके से बलूचिस्तान के लिए. एक तरीके से चाबहार पोर्ट लॉन्च पैड है इंटेलिजेंस एक्टिविटीज के लिए, ऐसा कहा है पाकिस्तान ने. अब बहुत पाकिस्तान का यह भी कहना है कि इंडियन ऑपरेटिव्स जो हैं वो भी इन्वॉल्व हैं काफी सारे बलूचिस्तान ग्रुप्स के साथ. लाइक बहुत सारे नेटवर्क्स हैं सिस्तान और बलूचिस्तान प्रोविंस में, एज यू कैन सी हियर सिस्तान बलूचिस्तान प्रोविंस, जहां जो कि ईरान की बलूच मेजॉरिटी प्रोविंस है. एंड इंडिया इज एक्सप्लॉइटिंग ईरान्स ओन कॉम्प्लेक्स रिलेशनशिप विद पाकिस्तान। तो इन चीजों का फायदा इंडिया उठा रहा है, ऐसा कहना है पाकिस्तान का। अब नेक्स्ट जो हमें चीज समझनी है, दैट इज सपोर्ट फॉर बलोच एक्टिविटीज एट अब्रॉड। नाउ हाउ सपोर्ट फॉर बलोच एक्टिविटीज अब्रॉड? इंडिया हैज ऑफर्ड इनडायरेक्ट सपोर्ट by giving space to Baloch activities in international forums. Like इंडिया ने सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट इशू मैं आपको बताता हूं 2016 का है, एंड द नेम ऑफ दिस पर्सन इज ब्रह्मदाग बुगती. Brahmdag Bugti, who was the leader of Baluch Republican Party, he sought asylum in India in 2016, although Indian government never formally accepted or rejected this request. Now, Baluch activists, they have also been vocal at United Nations Human Rights Council meeting, with India subtly backing their calls to highlight Pakistan human right abuses. तो इंडिया हमेशा इन सभी चीजों को बैकअप करता है. नाउ साइकोलॉजिकल एंड साइबर वॉरफेयर. अब बहुत सी ऐसी रिपोर्ट आई जो बताती है दैट इंडिया हैज यूज्ड इंफॉर्मेशन वॉरफेयर व्हिच हाईलाइट द फोर्स्ड डिसअपीयरेंस, extrajudicial killings, and also the military crackdowns in Baluchistan region. Apart from this, social media campaigns are also there. Like pro-Baluch independence narratives have gained traction online now with suggestion that some campaigns have Indian backing, so that India can globalize this issue and counter Pakistan Kashmir narrative. Now, the question here is, what is the end game of India? What is the strategy of India? So, India's strategy appears to be a mix of covert disruption as well as diplomatic signaling. So, this is one of the most important thing. And to remind Pakistan that if it keeps supporting the militants in Kashmir, then India can raise the stakes in Baluchistan and undermining CPEC. So, since Baluch militants, they have attacked Chinese infrastructure projects in Gwadar port, and instability in Baluchistan which has weakened the CPEC project and which India views as a strategic threat. Apart from this, regional leverage also, like strengthening ties with Iran through Chabahar port and also using the Baloch card as a bargaining chip in the regional diplomacy. So these things are very important. Overall, if you see, so powerful and you can say a kind of covert diplomacy or covert operations are being used. Now, ये ऐसा कहना है किसका? पाकिस्तान का. So, Baluchistan struggle is not just about a fight for freedom. It is about the broken promises, stolen resources, and also a people pushed to the edge. From Jinnah's U-turn on Kalat independence in 1948 to the modern day battleground of the Baluchistan Liberation Army, the hidden war has raged for the decades. But what makes it even more dangerous is how it's tangled in a web of global politics. So with India subtly backing the Baluchistan issue, Pakistan pointing fingers at RAW, and China pushing its economic interests through CPEC. So Baluchistan has become more than just a rebellion. It is now a geopolitical powder which is waiting to explode. So here the big question I leave you, that with Baluchistan, or you can say, is Baluchistan on the brink of becoming the next Bangladesh, or is it destined to remain a silent war which is hidden from the world? Now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And apart from this, do you think that India is playing a covert role in this conflict? Is Baluchistan's fight for freedom justified? Let's get this conversation started. And if you found this video eye-opening, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because these hidden stories need to be told, and together we can bring them into the spotlight. Thank you so much.